Hi, I'm Natalie McNeil, and you are watching She Takes on the World TV, your weekly dose of soaring inspiration and practical advice to turn your small business into something big. In this episode, we are going to talk about a little something that falls by the wayside in the noisy, crowded digital space, and that is etiquette. Did you ever take an etiquette class when you were younger? Maybe you didn't, but I did. I had to take an etiquette class before having the opportunity to meet with world leaders and dignitaries when I was younger, and it was so hard. I had to go through the whole how to eat at a state dinner lesson, and with all the forks and the spoons and how to cut your food and then how to eat it. My goodness, I was just so horrible at it. Online etiquette is so much easier, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. We all break codes sometimes, accidentally or maybe even on purpose. But as you continue to grow as a business owner and communicator, it helps to be aware of the basic rules to follow so you don't find yourself in hot water with your colleagues. Or maybe even caught up in a legal issue. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of etiquette rules and in some cases laws being broken online. And I get that we all make mistakes sometimes, but we've got to respect some rules and respect people's work. This episode, from here on out, may sound like a bit of a rant, but it's only because I care so much about respecting the creative process, and I think there's just a lot of people who don't get that what they're doing is wrong because copyright violation is all over the internet. But just because we see it all the time doesn't mean that it's right. Rule number 1, source. You take a paragraph from my site? Fine. Want to snatch a quote from my Forbes article? Fabulous, but you have to link back to the page that it came from and give me credit. This isn't just the decent thing to do, it's also how you avoid copyright lawsuits. So cover your backsides, people. The last thing you want to see in your inbox on Monday morning is a cease and desist letter. The other day, I posted a photo I took on Instagram, and within 5 minutes, I saw it in 3 other feeds with no attribution to my photo or text. Regram it with attribution if you're posting someone else's image. And speaking of images, I want to remind you to never use an image from a Google search or major media outlet because if you're caught, you can get charged a pretty hefty fine by those companies. I know many people who have had that happen to them, and I don't want it to happen to you. Rule number 2, don't add people to your Facebook group without their permission. While I completely understand most times this approach is designed to attract more knowingly like-minded people into new groups, it's just not always the best move. More and more, I'm seeing that this is becoming a major pet peeve of the Facebook population. Growing your group doesn't mean you have to add people without asking their permission first. I'm really sick of this happening to me, and I'm sure you are too. There's a simple fix to make your approach so much more authentic and engaging. Instead of simply adding people, try messaging them on Facebook first with a note about why you would love for them to be a member of your circle, with a link to the group so that they can opt in if they want to. Plus, people will be so much more engaged when you ask first, and they understand the value of the group when you reach out before adding them. Rule number 3, don't poach other people's team members, ask for a referral. This is just a pet peeve of mine and nothing illegal really. I mean, you don't own the people that you work with and they're free to go and make their own decisions, even if that decision does mean potentially leaving you. I had someone try to poach my assistant when she was CC'd on an email. And yes, she's amazing and I don't blame you for wanting to add her to the day-to-day of your business, but she's also a paid member of my team. And you put her in a really awkward position when she felt the need to come and talk to me about what had happened. Just don't. Or ask me for the referral first so that there's no awkwardness down the road. Rule number 4, repurposing program materials. Big no. The women's entrepreneurial sphere can be so warm and open to sharing. It's truly a beautiful thing. But it's important to remember, you still shouldn't join someone's program so you can repurpose their materials. This happened to a friend of mine last year, where someone with a pretty big following joined her program and then launched a very similar program. Then there was a colleague of mine who had someone totally rip off her whole package and all the materials pretty much verbatim. The person who stole the materials ended up saying she didn't see a copyright on all the materials within the program, although it was in the general terms. Do I believe all instances where this sort of stuff happens is from plain old mean-spirited people? Well, no, of course not. It's easy to make less than awesome assumptions and take bad advice as you get your business going. I realize that when people are starting up, they don't always realize that what they're doing just isn't right or maybe even illegal. But it can get a little crazy town, and out of respect for every single entrepreneur out there, it really just needs to stop. Imagine working so hard to launch anything, only to have someone straight up copy you. It sucks. And on top of that, when you choose to be a copycat, you're hiding your unique genius from the world, and that's something you should be celebrating and sharing. Okay, I'll end my rant there. Now I want to hear from you. Do you have anything to add to this list? Has this happened to you and you just need to rant a little bit too? Go ahead in a comment below. Today's actionable goes beyond just an immediate ask. I say to you, if you see someone clearly breaking copyright laws and blatantly not crediting creators, don't just click away. A few weeks ago, I saw someone had posted a passage from my friend Gabby Bernstein's book on Instagram, and Gabby wasn't mentioned at all. And I simply said in a comment on that post, this is from Gabrielle Bernstein's May Cause Miracles book, and I want to make sure she gets credit for her work. I encourage you to speak out as gently as you want when you see something that you know isn't right too. You don't have to say, hey, you're stealing, and get nasty. By doing it in your own way that feels aligned with you, you're standing up for the creative process, and you know that creating anything is a lot of hard work. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you next time on She Takes on the World TV. I hope you liked the episode of She Takes on the World TV you just watched. And if you did, I would love to invite you to take my free 14-day Conquer course to turn your small business into something big. Come on over to shetakesontheworld.com/conquer course to sign up.